All right, hello, welcome in. We are here for the open qualifiers of the NACL. I'm Magical, and I'm joined in by Miliana. We're here for Rock Esports taking on Phoenix 5. Miliana, I'm excited about this one. We got to start our open qualifiers with our 16 and 17 seeded teams.
Yeah, and this is going to be a really close match. I am so excited to see it. And we can see a lot of familiar names in these two teams. Already some training going to be happening in that mid lane. Moss on one of his signature mages this time on the Hyphe. And I'm really excited to see this mid lane matchup play out.
Me too. And looking at Zalt on the other side, getting a little bit of poke there. Moss just got to playing with this food a little bit in this mid lane. And something that we haven't really touched on is the fact that we have a Lee Sin on one of the sides, but not the jungle. That is Sandflame playing that in the top lane. And you and I kind of were discussing this because we got to see the draft beforehand. And we were wondering exactly where the Lee Sin was, where the Wukong was. And I theorized that it was going to be a Lee Sin top lane because Sandflame's actually been playing this a decent amount in solo queue. So bringing that out here on the big stage to try to take down Rock Esports with.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting pick. I'm not sure how this matchup goes in the top side. I haven't seen Sandflame play in a while, I think. But it is a very unique pick that he's bringing out for this game one. And I'm kind of interested to see in how he pilots it. I mean, I think Lee Sin can get some really cool engages off with this insect kicks. And top lane Lee Sin, we've seen it played by various players at different levels of competitive. So definitely something to look at to be like, you know, is this going to be a failure or is this going to be a huge success?
Yeah, and if we look at the LCK, I believe it was actually played mid lane in one of the games there. So how you play this is you play aggressively. It's actually funny because it was Lee Sin mid lane against Hyphe. So it was the whole idea of it is to play fast and loose with your food. You're just trying to immediately look for level 1 kills, like right there, getting the level 2 advantage. I actually expected to see Sandflame even just take the Sonic Wave forward, even if it hit the minion, just to try to get extra damage here on a Decoy. But Decoy's playing this one very wisely, very cautiously, just kind of trying to trade back and forth with the Darkened Blade.
Yeah, we definitely see that in the top lane. I mean, honestly, I don't know how this matchup goes, but I think both of these players are really solid top laners. And it seems like Decoy, even though Lee Sin top isn't really a popular pick, I think he is kind of playing this matchup really well for how little experience the average player would have in it.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to imagine, especially with how Udyr top lane's kind of taken over, a lot of these junglers beforehand having been strong in their jungle role, now going to the top lane, it probably functions in a similar manner to how Udyr top lane is, where it's win the lane early, get early shove, as we see right there from Sandflame, so that way he can move down, try to get a little bit of vision control. Now they know where Hyphe is. Just popping the Scriber's Bloom, seeing the blue buff is already taken, so they have this information that Vi is going to be heading towards the bot lane. And with Bazz and dtro getting a bit of an early priority here, having the double range up against the melee support, it is actually really smart here from BlackRock to try to utilize that Vi to try to get into one of the lanes, except for the fact that Sandflame was able to get that information for the team.
Yeah, and it is definitely something interesting to see. I mean, however, moving down though to like, I guess less volatile matchup in the bot lane, I feel like I really favor
the Jhin Rakan.
I don't think it's that volatile. I think Renata, a good Renata player, has the tools to disengage from Rakan W. I think that I honestly think I would highly favor Varus. I mean, he's one of the most prioritized ADCs. I mean, look, this Rakan just can't seem to get anything done right now. And obviously, Varus and Renata outraging Jhin Rakan
popping the ghost
by
already.
A lot. Ooh,
getting heal.
dang, and heal forced out from Pockus there. And I just feel like the bot lane matchup just favors Phoenix so much here. I mean, they have the better range. They have insane disengage. The Rakan just can't ever W in. And it feels like that Bazz on this Varus, whether he goes lethality or he goes the on-hit build, he's going to get prile in this lane, and he's going to scale really well into the late game. Ooh.
Oh, hello. Hyphe's there in the bot lane. Shows up just for a moment and then kind of waves goodbye. There's nothing really could be done because, like you said, it is this Jhin Rakan. I kind of find it's funny. I agree and disagree with you. I think you're right. The Renata is great to kind of dissuade Pockus from utilizing this Rakan aggressively. There's not really much you can do, but it's still Jhin Rakan, right? This is still a lane that wants to play aggressively. They want to look for these early plays, and that's why we're even seeing that Pockus is moving around the map because he's like, I don't want to deal with this bot lane. There's not much I can do here, so why don't I be volatile somewhere else?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Hyphe is an immobile target that Pockus can definitely look to gank if Moss steps up a bit too far. However, on the other hand, I do feel like Phoenix 5 has just drafted. Ooh.
A little bit of damage there on to Hyphe, having to flash away. Getting the flash out of that Vi early, and all the while, ShoterACE was already getting that advantage here onto the Void Grub. So that's just going to be an easy take here for the side of Phoenix 5. Getting the 3 Void Grubs early on is really, to me, I have this disagreement with a lot of casters I've talked with. They're 50-50 color casters. So, Miliana, I'm going to get your opinion on how much priority you put into the Void Grubs. Because I feel like Void Grubs, getting the first 3 is very important. Because now it's kind of like having 3 dragons. You can tell your opponent where they need to be the next time they spawn. And just having that alone is better than even having 6 of the Void Grubs.
Well, I think I'm a bit mixed about Void Grub priority. What I actually like to see junglers do with grubs is they kind of clear like around and they take 1 grub and then they leave. Like, I think that is like some of the optimal pathing that I've seen out of competitive junglers, where they just kind of like take a grub like it's a camp and then just leave the other ones because it takes too much time. That is what I think. I really do like that pathing because it denies your opponent 1 grub, so they don't get too many. But you don't actually take a hit on your tempo too much, and you don't have to get the rest of your team to invest resources to go there. I really like that technique where you don't take all the grubs. But I also think that grub taking is like kind of 50-50, because if you're losing and all you can do is take the grubs and you're losing anyway, I feel like grubs just don't do much for you.
True. That is true. Ooh, Zalt though flashing forward, looking for Moss, who's on the wrong side, but so is ShoterACE. But look at this, they got the bot lane showing up. Bazz and dtro helping to thwart this play that could have come in from BlackRock, making sure that even though they were the ones that kind of seemed like they were on the wrong side of the map, they were the ones always in control.
Yeah, I feel like I said about these matchups, I think that the bot lane, just Phoenix 5 gets so much more priority just by the nature of the matchup with this Renata, with this Varus. Varus just a highly prioritized AD carry that can get so much prio. And as for Renata, you know, she's just also so
Sandflame, hello? You were not playing wisely on that one. I even saw that coming a mile away.
Yeah, and with that play, oh my gosh, but it's a flash
Speaking of it, Shockwave in the mid lane. So it will be Zalt. Unfortunately, not getting enough damage there onto Moss. And this is the thing about playing up against Moss on this way. He knows the champion very well. He knows the limits, the ups and downs, the ebb and flows of the champion. So he knew exactly how he could play around that Shockwave that normally would have been disastrous for a lot of other mid laners.
Yeah, I agree. And he was able to play that really cleanly. He flashes that Shockwave from Zalt and is able to get the outplay onto him. A kill credit scored over to his jungler who was in the area. And I think I saw a lot of people discussing this about how last night in ACL, Zalt did face Moss in the mid lane. And Moss, I think both games got absolutely destroyed. However, he was playing champions he wasn't familiar with, such as Azir and Sylas, that he did not look so great on. But I think on his mages, like Hyphe, Orianna, Victor, he looks fantastic on them. And he is looking pretty good this game.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we even saw in the last open qualifiers. And the big upset that Moss had when he was the 32 seed on Chaotic Blaze, it was off the back of his Hyphe performance. He had a quadra kill in that game. I think he was like 13-2 on Hyphe. It was absolutely insane to watch. So having something like this champion where it's the control mage style that really works to the benefit of Moss, and I think it really works for the benefit of the rest of Phoenix 5. I'm curious with how BlackRock are going to play around a lot of that, especially because while that kill goes to Moss, not to Moss, but ShoterACE in this mid lane, it does help out Moss with the lane. And then usually from there, I always see ShoterACE and play high tempo once he gets these early kills. This is a player that's been playing for a long time and always been a standout performer for me. And how aggressive he can be. Sometimes it ends up being to the negative. Like right now we see Sandflame in the mid lane just immediately deleting Zalt right there, who's like, I got Shockwave, but you don't have damage yet.
Yeah, and I did not expect that one. Sandflame just roaming down to the mid lane to get a kill onto Zalt. Really well played by him. I would not have expected that at all.
No, I mean, especially because I was trying to talk about the one strength that is going for BlackRock right now, being in that top lane. the fact that Sandflame did die to first blood out of decoy. And so I was expecting that it would have been, if anything, ShoterACE. That's why I was like, on this whole thing where I'm like, ShoterACE aggressive. I see Sandflame there. I'm like, probably not going to get the kill, right? Nah. Enough damage already there to make sure that Zalt does nothing. Can't even escape from that. And now you have 2 plays that have been made in this mid lane for Phoenix 5. And the question here for BlackRock is, how do you get out of this one? How do you make sure that Zalt is going to get to that level here as Orianna, where it's the critical shockwave Vi combination?
Well, I think, firstly, I'm just like I've talked about draft a lot already, and I'm just going to say it right now. I think Phoenix 5 have done their prep because Orianna plus a champ like Zen, Vi, or Nocturne is extremely popular and strong. Ooh, maybe a bit of fight.
Let's see. Right now, handshake. Trying to get away, but Pockus only being level 5, so dtro understanding that. Also had hostile takeover. So back to the point you were making.
So back to the point. I think that obviously the Orianna plus dive combo very popular, especially with champs like Rakan, Vi, whatever, right? And
yeah, Sandflame. I don't think Sandflame can play this matchup anymore. I think he's not allowed to be in this lane.
Yeah, I think he's losing a little hard now, especially with that roam. He lost a lot of tempo. But back to the point I was making. I think Wukong and Renata are extremely powerful disruptors for these.
Speaking of disruptors, hello Zalt. Shockwave is there again if you want to use it, but last time it didn't work, and this time, not even going to bother. Knowing that there was no real escape here for this Oregon. Now 0-3. Screw ACL from last night. Moss is saying, you know, it doesn't matter as long as I perform here on NACL.
Oh my god, wait.
Good kick. Good kick.
Oh, damn. Good kick.
He can actually... No.
Oh, he's...
Yeah, World Ender. That's going to be the TP. Trying to help out. The Darkened Blade does pick up the kill. But now, Decoy, you got to get out of here. Moss is on the other side. Has Spiraling Despair, but not going to connect. That actually missing. Getting a little bit of damage there, but dash over the wall. Decoy still fine. Spotted out, but the killing spree. Moss maybe does have the damage after all.
Yeah, and Moss going to be able to salvage that play for his top laner there. Able to trade 1-for-1, but it does cost him his TP. However, I think that, honestly, when I saw Zalt there getting caught up by the mid jungle, I got so tilted because I saw him do the exact same thing in scrims, playing Syndra or Orianna, summon mobile mage, and he died literally the same way in the same corridor. And I was like, dude, why are you here? You can't walk like this. And I was just so confused. And now he did it again. I'm really tilted, but it's fine.
It happens.
It happens. Sometimes we have to walk there as Orianna. It is what it is.
The thing I always say is that it's the fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So Zalt, you should have learned now. This is the second time. We're calling you out here on the stage. Next time, if we see it a third time, we're coming to your house.
Better not see it next game.
Or even this
game. Or even this game again. Yep, don't want to see it. So anyway, back to the point I was making. I think Phoenix have drafted fantastic interrupters like Renata with her handshake and her hostile takeover, or Hui with the Grim Visage, the Fear, and obviously Wukong with his ultimate. There's
you got the name of it.
Yeah.
See, I got one. I got the Spiraling Despair because I feel that every day.
I know what you mean. So repeat after me. We have Severing Bolt, which is like the long one.
Okay, we have the poke.
Long bolt.
Hold on. Sandflame is fighting with Decoy here.
Actually,
we're gonna play here. Huge shockwave, getting all that damage. dtro, hostile takeover with the bailout, not gonna help out. Double kill for Zalt, getting right back into the game, even if Hui got one down the other side. With Sandflame barely getting away. Decoy not connecting the Darkened Blade. Sonic Wave connecting. Sandflame going back in, getting all this damage, but the burst from Decoy, saying this is my top lane while the fight continues here in the river. Moss having to flash away. Sushee could have actually looked for the snipe, but doesn't go for it. Instead, they peel back, wanting the objective control instead.
Dragon's still up, though. This could be a rematch here. Oh, no, Bazz! What are you doing?
I saw that one coming. He thought that they were going for either the dragon or they were going straight for the lane. Didn't give the respect that, especially with Rakan, especially Pockus, that they were going to look for the play. They're looking for kills. They don't want just to be boring.
And all of a sudden, now one misplay from Phoenix 5 has kind of turned this game around completely. It looks like it's going to be BlackRock that's going to secure this dragon, win the fight, and Zalt is just right back into the game. Got a double kill in that fight, and he is looking like he can, still play the game. He's got a lot of gold, and he's catching up with Moss on that Hui.
Just Orianna things, you go 0-5, one good shockwave back in the game. Zalt proven right there. The power of a good Orianna Shockwave, what it can do for the team, the wombo combo that it has, especially with a Rakan, quickness, so much that it can do. The only thing is the fact that even with that play, the double kill for Zalt, getting 2 kills, getting some nice gold into their pockets, Moss is still 4-0 here on Hyphe.
Yeah, he's quite strong.
Has gotten the Horizon Focus already completed, and a couple of components ahead here of Zalt. And that's going to be a big problem here, because we already saw how much control you can get from having a good Hyphe. And we're saying that with a fed Hyphe, that it is a lot of damage bursting down even someone who is fed like Decoy.
Yeah, I mean, Decoy, though, really strong on this Aatrox, absolutely demolishing Sandflame in this matchup right now. Even though we thought Sandflame had the advantage earlier in the first few minutes of the game, it looks like that's completely turned around. Decoy has that whole tower. He is 20 CS ahead, and he is doing so well for himself. So
this is always where I don't know how long you've been watching competitive League of Legends, Miliana, but going back in the old days of seeing Lee Sin.
What are the old days? Wait, like, give me like
I'm talking like 2014. You know.
Oh dear.
Look, I've been playing this game since 2010, so I've got a couple of years on this game, but. When I look at Lee Sin, I remember...
More like decades.
Oh, hold on.
Whoa.
Moss getting eviscerated. Put the bailout. Can they save his life? No. Shutdown does go over to the side of Hyphe with a lot of damage spiraling. Despair helping getting Zalt low for the shutdown of ShoterACE. While Sushee forcing ShoterACE away. Opening up the curtain call. Looking for the monkey. They got the right monkey and they push him right into the kill for Hyphe with the Sonic Wave Sandflame. Not following that one up, but they're going to pop the Eye of the Rift Herald here for BlackRock to look for a crash and extra damage onto this tier 1.
It's a huge shutdown over to BlackRock, and on top of that, they win out the fight. They win out in numbers, and they get the siege on that mid lane turret. They're able to get it down quite low, but it looks like the fight might go down.
Hyphe took the turret aggro on accident. They do get the turret, but there was a lot of damage done.
Clean movement.
Yeah, a good movement there. Not landing the Sonic Wave there, but it got a little dicey for half a second.
Yeah, I mean, Sushee could have been in trouble, but a really nice sidestep dodges that Sonic Wave completely. But it looks like, meanwhile...
Bazz, go for the execute. You know he's there. Bazz, you know he's there. Just take the turret. Does take it down. Knew that this was going to be death for himself, as he is the decoy for the team.
The decoy. Haha, I get it.
Yeah, is he?
Yeah. And anyway, looks like a bit of an awkward lane assignment moment though. Decoy and Zalt both going bot there was a bit odd to me because now Zalt has to waste his TP2 match. Moss in that top lane, which a little suboptimal on the macro there, but it's fine.
It's fine because they get the turret bot lane, so that's all 3 tier 1s now toppled there for BlackRock. That's a lot of gold that we're seeing. It's about a 2,500 gold lead now for BlackRock here. 18 minutes into the game, we're seeing a lot of these item spikes, and this is really good for BR8. They've got the Profane Hydra already for Decoy. Sundered Sky now for Hyphe. We already saw the Luna's Companion there for Zalt quite some time ago, but getting Youmuu's now for Sushee as well. And even a Frozen Heart for Pockus just to be an extra nuisance against what should have normally be a lot of burst damage from the top side of the map here for Phoenix 5, but really not going to do too much against them.
I'm not going to lie. If I'm playing Rakan into that comp, I would have taken the... crown support item instead of the Solstice Slay. I know Solstice Slay is really nice for dives, but I think a lot of the time you have Vi making it the initial engages or something like that. So I feel like, and since Solstice Slay only, I think, buffs the move speed of one member on your team, I feel like Crown just has so much value into how much disengage you have. Because as Rakan, you can just like get absolutely messed up like by a Wukong ult, by Renata Q, by a Hui, Grim Visage. I don't know the buttons, I only know the names. So when I talk to other players about it, they're all like, what are you on about? What is Grim Visage? And I'm like,
I just know what they do. As here's going to be the Shockwave combination we were talking about with Vi and Orianna getting a lot of them pinned in, but Spiraling Despair helps take down Zalt while Decoy couldn't actually get him. He gets a lot of damage flashing away with the curtain call. Only tagging on to Detroit. Pockus trying to keep him alive as well. They're kiting back. More poke comes in from Moss. Look for the root with the Deadly Flourish while Pockus taking a lot of damage and even slowed down by the Blade of the Ruin King. Moss can chase it down, but a nice battle dance away. Only going to be the one that falls on either side. Ooh. Almost having the snipe there for Moss.
I think this is the issue.
Oh! He does get the snipe.
Nice snipe. Nice severing bolt by Moss. Able to pick himself up another kill. His arch angles is completed, and he is at 2.5 items on this play. He is so strong. But I think Magical, this was the issue I was describing with BlackRock's comp. They have such a heavy dive composition, but then they also have a Jhin, and then the enemy team has like Wukong, Renata, Varus, all this and Hui, all this kiting, all this disengage, and I feel like fights can just turn on them so easily once they initially engage. Renata in that tight corner got such a beautiful hostile takeover, followed up by ShoterACE's Cyclone, just knocking everyone up. And I just feel like BlackRock's composition just struggles to play into Phoenix 5's.
It does. I mean, they had a great combination there, right? The cease and desist into Shockwave. It was a great start to a fight, but it wasn't enough to actually kill anybody. And then the hostile takeover act, as you said, in a tight corridor like that, gained control completely back for Phoenix 5, where they push him out. And then Moss also being huge here on this way. The snipes from the severing bullets that you were talking about. Thank you for the name of the ability, by the way. Totally. I totally didn't just rely on you for that. I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like Hui, I mean, I remember like about a month ago, I went through and I memorized all his ability names.
Nice, nice.
Obviously focusing on the CC ones, and the ultimate, because the CC ones are like the ones that you really want to call out if you're play. Because I'm usually a play-by-play too, but
see,
I enjoy the color.
I'll be honest, I just kind of refer to them on the abilities that he essentially stole from other people. Like
So
the
what do
lightning
you call-
bolt, you know, the severing bolt. Sometimes I just call Hui's vision of Empire, because it's just the swaying.
Oh,
It just sways.
Oh.
He's got his own
And then
Vel'Koz.
what do you call the crushing maul?
I just call that one the claw.
Oh, I've always seen it as a mouth, but interesting that you see it as a claw. You know?
See, I never saw it as
like-
a mouth.
Really?
Yeah, I've
Interesting.
always seen it as two claws, you know.
I guess, but I feel like if it were claws, like the
Yeah, it wouldn't
bottom
have as
claw
many
should, like, only
teeth.
have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense for you to have like 10 fingers on the same. Like,
I mean,
10
if it's a
claws like
monster,
that,
I
you know?
guess.
That'd be a bit odd. I feel like even monsters have appendage.
Oh, hold on. Because right now they're using everything to kill Moss right here. With the bailout, not going to save his own life. It's only a little bit of damage. Spiraling Despair, how much does it do? Okay, not enough yet.
Quite a lot, though. Even so, Pockus gonna get chunked out quite a bit. I mean, he doesn't have that much MR build up yet, and it looks like BlackRock just gonna start up on that Baron.
Might as well. The powerhouse is gone here for Phoenix 5, but Pockus is down pretty low. Has to heal up with the Quill, trying to get back. But they're scared off. They actually don't want to commit to this. They have a pretty slow Baron take, if I'm going to be real. Jhin, Orianna, Vi takes a long time, and that's why they're just looking for more picks here. And all the while, Phoenix 5 kind of reading the play, say, hey, we can actually get a lot of damage here onto that tier 1. So close to toppling it on top of it all.
Yeah, I mean, the Baron is just so strong this season. After some Baron buffs, it's just at 20-something minutes, even with a pick made onto someone on the enemy team, it's just, you just can't take the Baron. No. Even if you've taken out the strongest carry on the enemy team, it's just so difficult to take.
Unless you have, like, certain champions, like an Azir, really is good at that. Kallista's still pretty good at taking it. But you have to have something very specific, right? You have to have that champion that's good at toppling those quickly. Without that, it's going to take you ages. And you're going to take a lot of damage, like you said. So falling back here, BlackRock, just getting some items completed. We already saw the Edge of Night there beforehand for Decoy, but starting to see some pretty critical item spikes here. Sushee now has that Collector, so a little bit more burst damage. And when we look across the board here for Phoenix 5, that is one of the things. They don't really have a good tank, if you think about it. The closest person that has any tankiness is probably actually going to be dtro, since he has a locket to give some shields and stuff.
Yeah, and I agree. However, I think that one win condition I'm looking at for the BlackRock team is probably this upcoming Dragon. I mean, I think if they can get the Soul... I mean, I think both teams. I think Soul is better on Phoenix than it is on BlackRock because they have so much range with the Hui Varus.
Sure.
However, I think Hextech Soul really OP.
Hextech is just
really annoying.
Insane. Yeah.
And I think that both teams are really looking at this next Dragon.
We're definitely going to see a fight over it. Would put 3 dragons into the pockets here for BlackRock and give them a lot of priority around the map. And that's why they're already getting a lot of control on that side, even getting a little bit of poke here onto ShoterACE. Well, not taking too much themselves, losing some of the spell shields, but it allows them this freedom to kind of push up some of the vision control, get these control wards into the jungle here of Phoenix 5, and really say, you have to now fight into us when we have all the priority, but I see pings. I see movement here from Phoenix 5. They're actually moving towards the top side of the map. Maybe it could be the YOLO play, the Baron call to try to force something, because we know the Dragon's already been started here by Hyphe.
Yeah, and Hyphe just able to take this third dragon kind of for free. I'm a little confused about how that happened. Like, I guess it's just a tempo gift.
Oh, wait a minute.
Like,
hold on. Decoy.
Oh, wait, what?
It could be the sacrifice here. Try to go for the turret, and now you just get caught out for free. Even if it is the take of the dragon. That was a TP towards the team for Zalt, realizing he could have been in a bad position as well. But now you've lost the Aatrox. You're trying to go for the fight. The curtain call with the shockwave only onto Bazz. No one's there to help you out, Hyphe. All the while, ShoterACE created a lot of distance for the team, and they can turn on to this Vi to take her out and get a shutdown for Bazz.
Oh, but it's a disaster for BlackRock. They throw 2 shutdowns straight over to the hands of Bazz B. And now it looks like maybe
they should be able to take this. They have a pretty good take.
Might look for the Baron. They do have pretty good take with that on-hit Varus. However, their health bars are not looking the highest. And like I said, Baron this season is kind of strong.
Poke.
I mean, oh, it's a chunk onto Moss, and his Seraphs has been procced as well. It doesn't look like Phoenix 5 want to risk throwing the game to start the Baron right now. So the game is kind of just going to reset into a more neutral state once again.
Decoy back up as well. TP was available. Good call here from Phoenix 5. Just peeling back, saying, you know what? We got 2 kills. We got some shutdown over for Bazz as well. And now look at this. Not only will he already have those 2 completed items beforehand, but getting so close to having a 3rd one here. Really kind of skyrocketing this Varus. And you were talking before about how strong Varus is, not only in lane, just but in general in the current meta. With how he has been, especially when you have something like a Renata Glusk. So you normally, you look at on-hit Varus, you're like, it's pretty low range. You're not the poke Varus who can get all this damage from range.
It's not that low range.
But you have a Renata. You have that extra cushion, so even if they try to kill you, you have ways to get out.
Yeah, I suppose that is true.
Oh, the dog is trying to go for an engage and then just dies? Hello? And you got Hyphe cut out for that too? They thought they had this play, but they were not already on the same page.
No, I mean, Decoy was all the way in the river. He wasn't even there. I am really not sure what BlackRock is thinking engaging on that when one of their strongest members, this Aatrox, Decoy on this Aatrox, is still in the river. He's not even close to entering the fight.
Zalt, that is going to be a big thing. Doesn't have the shockwave. I've seen many an Orianna seal Baron with shockwave.
Look at Sandflame.
They're getting a lot of damage. That's another bulk connecting onto Sushee. Moss almost getting him. Sandflame wanted to get into the back line, but the Baron going to be secured here by Phoenix 5 with the 2 solo laners making sure nobody can enter the pit.
Sushee gonna have to burn his flash for that too. It is quite an unfortunate situation for BlackRock. It seems like disaster after disaster. They're just dying on repeat now. Pockus with that flash in just absolutely does not work out. Like I said, Phoenix 5 just have so much disengage. They have so many ways to stop this Rakan from going in. And I think Rakan was actually picked pretty late on the 2nd draft rotation. And I just don't understand why they opted for this champ instead of something with longer range or something like with more pick, like a Nautilus that can't really be stopped by all these abilities on the enemy team.
I mean, it is also a comfort thing. I know Pockus has been a player that in the past liked to play a lot more of the mages. That's where the name comes from. Hocus Pocus, being a mage player as a support, but has transitioned into a lot more of things like this Rakan, and it has been a comfort pick for Pockus throughout 2023 and even coming here into 2024. So it could be more in line with that, but as you see right there, the problem with it is you are very squishy. You get deleted really quickly with all this burst damage out of Phoenix 5. And this is where I gotta see Pockus. When you play this Rakan, especially when you have things like a Vi, you talked before about how Vi is really gonna be the primary engage tool for the team. When you have that, your Rakan now has to be the flanker. It's kind of weird, but you want this Rakan on the side instead of actually being something that can get caught out and be the one to go right into the face of your enemy.
Yeah, I do think that is correct. I think a Rakan flank could be pretty good angle, especially if they can catch their opponents off guard. But even then, ShoterACE has so much disengage with a Cyclone, and it doesn't matter what direction you come if it's a Wukong, because the Cyclone 360 degrees.
Yep, true. Very true. And that Right now, we've seen ShoterACE. Before, I was talking about his aggression when it comes to usually the early stages of the game. Oh, no, Sandflame just getting caught out here. Recalling in a spot he thought he was safe.
Ooh, well, Sandflame just giving... I'm not sure how he was the shutdown. I'm a little confused about that.
Shutdown gold's weird.
Yeah, shutdown gold is a little bit odd. I am not sure.
He also hadn't died in a while. He died 3 times really early into the game, so it's been some time and he got a lot of But here, ShoterACE taking his way, looking for the engage. Hyphe was able to disengage with the Vault Breaker. TP from Decoy, scaring away the members of Phoenix 5. But Decoy, he's pretty fast and they know where you are. They're ready to end your world, trying to get in there, but a good handshake denies Hyphe from actually finding that engage into the back line. Forcing away some of these members, getting a little bit of poke there onto Hyphe. And all the while, look at Pockus. He was looking for that flank, but Bazz knew better. That's why he was staying so far back, and even now noticing that Pockus kind of showing it himself to the rest of the team. They've stayed focused here around this dragon. Want to contest because Phoenix 5 cannot let this soul go into the hands of BlackRock.
No, they can't, and Sandflame able to take the Hex Gate over to this fight. I mean, it looks like this is just going to go over to the side of Phoenix. Oh,
hold on. Pockus did spot him out. Curtain call has been open. Decoy is inside of the pit. All the while, Sandflame trying to get a little bit of attention and damage on Pockus. Grand Entrance does nothing to stop Sandflame, who's getting rid of the support. All the while, the team does secure themselves the dragon. In you go, Hyphe, but too little, too late to actually get anything back for the team.
Hyphe not able to quite steal this dragon, and it looks like
Decoy flashing away, though. Blast Cone barely surviving, but that's a lot here used by BlackRock just to get Decoy out of there.
Yeah, and Decoy gonna have to be able to escape there, but has to burn the flash as well. And on top of that, BlackRock does not get that Hex Tech to Drake. So unfortunate for them. Hyphe had a chance at stealing that. I think he had to die there if he wanted to go for that no matter what. I'm not sure if they had vision. I think they should have had, because Oriana Ball
they had it, but it was a smite fight, and ShoterACE won.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Yeah. Just a bit unlucky, kind of a 50-50 situation. And it's just kind of tough now. However, it's still 3-2 in favor of BlackRock. But I feel like BlackRock are just getting absolutely outscaled now. They had that one really good snap engage at Dragon. I think that is the name of the game.
You're favoring BlackRock here, but...
No, I mean, I feel like BlackRock are getting outscaled. Like,
oh, okay.
Like,
I was about to say,
no,
I'm like, wait a minute. I feel like it's the other way around.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, good. We're on the same page then. I'm like, I see on-hit Forest with the Terminus in the inventory. He's got a lot of damage, and sure, you know, you have Sandflame. This is something I was talking. This is the throwback to the conversation we were having before with the olden days here of Lee Sin. Lee Sin used to be this hyper-aggressive, you win early, get these advantages for the team, but if you didn't win by the 30-minute mark, he became a kick bot. It's all about getting the primary carries out of the fights, and that is what he has got to do. He has got to kick either Zalt or Sushee into his team so the rest of the team can collapse.
However, I have to say this, he doesn't even necessarily have to do that, because look at what BlackRock's team wants to do. They are short range, they want to go in, except for maybe the Jhin, who like kind of wants to ult from far away in space and run around with his insane move speed or whatever Jhin does. However, I feel like BlackRock's comp needs to go into the enemy comp to get things done. They can't really poke, they can't really sustain like from a distance. They're not really like an enchanter comp, right? So I think that they have to go in, they have to run into you. And if Sand can kind of just play for his carries and use the kick for disengages on this Vi, on this Aatrox, and on this Rakan, he can still have a lot of value for his team without even needing to look for angles himself, because his team is perfectly happy with getting run into.
See, I'll be honest, I almost hope that Sandflame just starts building tank from here on out. Just become like the tank for the team and be the one that absorbs a lot of the pressure. So you can stand in front, you can kick him away like you were talking about, because I think that would work out better here for Phoenix 5. And give him more chances. Because look at Moss. 4 items completed on this way. That is only 2 and, you know, maybe 3/4 there for Zalt, because he's still working towards that death cap. He is far behind on this Oriana. And while Oriana is going to peak once she has that death cap completed, Hyphe is even stronger here with the 4 items completed so far.
Yeah, and Moss looks like an absolute monster on this champion. I mean, last night I lost a little bit of respect to him because I saw his Azir and his Sylas, and I think maybe don't pick those again.
I know what it was. It was Moss trying to get in the head here of Zalt and be like, oh no, look at me. I see. Oh, call an ambulance. But then, you know, turns around with the pistol, but and then says, but not for me. That's the whole idea here.
Yeah. I am so glad to see him playing. Like, if I saw him not picking Hui, Orianna, or Victor today, I would be like, oh, GG, I don't want to watch it. But he looks fantastic on this Hui. He looks fantastic on Mages. Please, I beg, no more Azir, no more Silas. That doesn't need to happen in OQs this week. But
well, right
he is
now,
looking so good on this
there's a problem though for Phoenix 5. They do feel a little lost on the map on exactly what they want to do because they don't want to give over any advantages here to BlackRock. They kind of were, Goon Squad moving around their own jungle. But the problem with that is this is still buying time. There's a lot. Like, think about it. It was a 4K gold lead just a couple minutes ago here for Phoenix 5.
And now it's 2K.
And no kills have happened in that time. It's all been off of turrets.
No, they look like, you know how like in high school, like gym class, you had to like run around
oh god,
the gym
yeah.
instrument? Like, no, it looked like that. They just ran around the jungle together.
It was me and my group of friends back running the mile where we're all like grouped together like
yeah, that's literally what they just did. They just ran together through the jungle, didn't loop around the red buff pit, and then just came to mid lane, took the wave together as 5. And I was just like, what are they doing?
And they lost a lot from that. That's actually given BlackRock a bit of time here. And look at how much vision they've been able to secure for themselves around this Baron. Well, yes, we have about a minute left. No, not a minute, what am I saying? We have a few seconds here left until the Hextrack Dragon will spawn up. You're okay with trading that. If we see BlackRock start peeling for the Baron, then Phoenix 5 try to go for the Dragon, that's not going to be a worthwhile trade. That's only going to be 3-3 on the Dragon trade.
Yeah, I agree. And it looks like, oh, Dragon is up again. I mean, ooh, but they've started the Baron.
Yeah, it's not like it was 15 minutes ago. They actually can take this pretty quickly now. It's not like Baron is actually going to be that strong here. And that's what I was saying, the problem here that I had for Phoenix 5.
Yeah, but Phoenix are able to retaliate and take a good chunk of stuff in the mid lane. I think they're going to get that inhibitor as well, but they're not going to be able to get anything more. And they're just probably going to turn around, look for the Dragon.
There's minions in the bot lane, and they're actually in a bad spot. There are places that Decoy can TP to. Pockus isn't in a great spot yet, but they are getting the curtain call to slow down ShoterACE, get a little bit of poke. Well, Hyphe did want to engage. They're kind of making it difficult here. None of that gold is going to be spent from what has been gained here by Phoenix 5 for this Dragon.
Yeah, but remember, it is so hard for the composition of BlackRock to walk into the composition of Phoenix 5. This Renata hostile takeover, this Cyclone, all these things that Phoenix 5 have to peel, have to counter, have to like disengage and turn fights around. It's just so powerful for them. And it looks like this fight might actually just come down to a smite fight once again. Both teams just posturing around, trying to poke each other out, trying to look at each other. And I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm
so worried though, because Phoenix 5 collectively have over 5,000 gold in their pockets still, unspent. That gives a huge shift. It makes it seem like there's an actual advantage here for Phoenix 5. That's not there. They don't have that gold spent. And that actually could put them in a bad spot. Right now, Sandflame getting caught out. Quickness with the Darkened Blade, locking him in place. There goes your side lane flanker. There goes your disengage. Sandflame is out of there, and the re-engage with the shockwave onto 3. Zalt making up for the early plays with the season assist, blocking in dtro. Can you get anybody out of here? Triple kill for Sushee. He'll finally fall to Moss while Bazz still healing up a lot, doing a lot of damage, but Decoy gets his flash away. Hyphe waiting to re-engage, but the bolt nearly striking back at the World Ender. All the while, Bazz throws down those arrows, and that is unstoppable with another snipe there for Moss. And all the while, Zalt saying, all right, we might have lost the fight, but I'll open up the base in the meantime.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I guess Zalt thought the fight was won, and he decided that pushing mid would be the best option.
It wasn't he that thought it was won. He knew it was lost, and he's just going for as much as he can. He's got an inhibitor, Nexus turret taken, and the canceled back there for Bazz, who I think he did get the Dragon for the team, but that's a lot that's been traded back and forth from each side.
Yeah, well played from Zalt there, getting a Nexus tower and getting the other one to about half health. I mean, he almost got the second one. If Pockus maybe canceled his recall, I think Pockus dying for that would not have been a bad idea to die to cancel the
I think he was trying to, but he couldn't actually find Moss. It was like one of those situations where he was trying to get to Moss, but Bazz was doing a good job of making sure there's no way for Pockus to actually get to him.
Yeah, agreed. And I feel like that is definitely the case. And unfortunately, Zalt not quite able to take down that second Nexus tower. It was pretty close though. And however, now the game, I mean, obviously There's no team name, sorry, so I'm like having
It's
a
okay,
moment.
it's okay.
But, like,
Don't worry. Oh, ShoterACE.
oh,
Wrong
it's
monkey
the
tag
Wukong.
there, but they do get the cease and desist with the lockdown with a
what
lot
is
of
this
damage there.
shield?
Curtain call.
Oh!
What in the world just happened? They just deleted the monkey.
Sushee doing so much damage with that 4th shot in the curtain call. He's gonna be able to take down ShoterACE, and now it looks like it looks like Phoenix 5 might be in a bit of trouble. They have to back off now, and it looks like kind of a dire situation for them. Baron has worn off now for the side of BlackRock. They are knocking on the doors of Phoenix 5, but they can't quite go further. So much they've put on this plate, and Varus means that BlackRock can't quite end the game.
That's good. That was the hard thing. That's why I'm like, I don't know if they can win off of that play alone. Too much wave clear, so they are going to fall back. Just get the push, the ebb and flow here from both sides, having toppled the mid lane inhibitors. So it will be even. It's not like before where, you know, you're like, they got the mid lane inhibitor. That's nice. That's something they can play around. Not anymore. This is why we're seeing that the recalls here for BlackRock spending some of that critical gold. I talked before about how there was a lot of unspent gold for Phoenix 5 when they went for that last fight. About 5,000 they had in their inventories unspent. And yet they still won the fight. I'm worried here for BlackRock. Now, a lot of this gold has been spent. Of course, there are some members like Moss and Bazz that have some gold still left for themselves, but not like it was before. Both sides are dead even in gold. Within 1,000, that is nothing this late in the game.
Yeah, I completely agree. And honestly, this game can be anyone's game to take. We did talk about how we felt like,
That's probably something that happened a while ago, and that's the nice thing about watching replays. We don't have to worry about that. Oh, yeah. Handshake, though. No. You have to worry about that. Nice shockwave, but not enough damage to actually pick up a kill just yet. Bazz going to heal up with the Crypto Bloom and with the Redemption for a double kill. He got the bailout, but it's not in time. He'll finally fall to Sushee, looking for the root. Re-engage Sandflame on a decoy and Pockus, looking for the kick back onto the world, and to end his world, but he's healing up a lot with the Darkened Blade, slamming back down on a dtro, but the bailout again returns only death for one of each of the bot laners, even if it's a 3-for-2 trade.
It's a really close fight and a close trade as well. However, no objectives up quite yet. It means that neither team is gonna get much off of this play.
Not yet, but look at the minions starting to crash in mid lane. That is going to give a little bit of time because now the inhibitor has respawned here for BlackRock. This will at least give them some time to gain control, gain a foothold around the Baron with vision, with wards, just with placement of their own bodies.
Yeah, I completely agree. And as we can see, Sushee and Pockus were also given a really nice window to shove out that top wave to prepare for these objectives coming up now. This game is already in some really late stages. Gold is currently dead even for both teams, and it is 43 minutes, 3-3, tied up in the soul points as well, with soul spawning in just under a minute. This next dragon fight could make or break this game.
It's not like it was before where you can make the play, say go for the dragon, sure, we can get the Baron for BlackRock. Now they have to fight it. That is a Hex Tech Soul. Neither team can let that go. You'd rather let the Baron go at that rate.
Oh, for sure. Baron, we can wait 4 minutes. Hex Tech Soul is forever. We do not want to be giving the enemy team Hex Tech Soul at this phase of the game. If they really start Baron here, I think BlackRock should just make a beeline for either the base or for the dragon. I mean, we can see. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Phoenix 5 are doing there. Oh, looks like they're teleporting there.
Inhibitor just respawned as well. So they are going to back off, but the Baron is not even the problem. Like we said, it's the dragon that is spawned up. That is going to be the soul claimed uncontested here for BlackRock Esports.
Wait. Phoenix 5 literally just out-macroed themselves.
Yes,
what just happened? BlackRock just walked in and took the dragon for free.
And now, Decoy is spotted out, ShoterACE. They've tagged the right monkey, and they have leaded him again for killing spree out of Sushee. Curtain call, only slowing down some of the members, but they got rid of the smite with themselves having the Hex Tech Soul that they gain. What can you do here for Phoenix 5?
Phoenix 5 are actually slowly starting to find the game slipping out of their hands. I mean, Hex Tech Soul just acquired by BlackRock, and now they're going to get the Baron on top of it as well. No smite to contest this.
Miracles
no, what
needed.
is
dtro
gonna
had to
happen?
flash away. That's going to be the hostile takeover. He's barely alive, but Sandflame in the middle. Tries to get a little bit of damage while Zalt gets the shield, but the flash in from Bazz in the Baron pit. It's Bazz being the hero for Phoenix 5, resurrecting their hopes from the grave.
Oh,
Oh, Sandflame barely surviving there.
decoy, that was such a good try, but not quite. Sandflame left with just a sliver of HP, and the shield is able to survive. And it's a disaster for BlackRock. They had everything in their hands, but for some reason they wanted to fight, they wanted to chase, they wanted to engage, and they could have just taken the Baron for free so easily, but instead Vi was like in the Raptor pit.
Vi is in the Raptor pit. Nobody was focusing on the problem. Before it was Moss, now it is Bazz. 9-3. So that is why we see that Hyphe was trying to look for him, but look at that damage. Full build here, by the way, for Varus with a Guardian's Angel. You're not killing him if you're Vi. The only ones that are going to do any damage to him are going to be Zalt and Decoy if they can get on top of him. Well, dtro, he's low. They're looking for the play. They've lost one Nexus turret with Bazz taking a little bit of damage, but he's throwing it right back at them. Then they take them all out into the grave. BlackRock gonna fall to the might of Phoenix 5 with a curtain call open. Slow, trying to get rid of the minions. There goes one cannon. They have super starting to pour into the base. Zalt and Sushee, that is your time to step up. Nice shockwave there. Does get the Guardian's Angel out of Bazz, but you got to make sure you get the kill afterwards. Slowing him down just temporarily. 2v4. It is still BlackRock surviving. Flash in from Moz. Does get the root. They look for Zalt, but he has to go golden. Zalt still alive. Dodging away, and they take down Sandflame with Moss. Taking the gate out of there. He'll get out. Will the rest of the team for Phoenix 5? It does seem so. The game continues.
Zalt and Sushee stepped up, able to defend the base. 2v4 against Baron, against the might of Phoenix 5 knocking on their doors with the help of that Hex Tech. So like you said earlier, they're able to clear those waves and keep the base alive. Sandflame not quite connecting that last Sonic wave onto Zalt when he was diving him. Just means that Zalt survives and Sandflame goes down instead. It is a miracle for BlackRock to have survived that play, and they're gonna live to fight another day.
Guardian's Angel now gone for Bazz. That is huge for BlackRock if they can punish it. But we've seen Bazz. He has been immaculate here with his positioning. He's someone that I even pinpointed as being one of the highlights here for this team at Phoenix 5. He was someone that I was very interested in when watching in the Open Qualifiers 1 that we saw last time, one of the big points of Abandoned Kittens. So now it's his time to step up here against BlackRock. Curtain call, getting a little bit of damage. So that's going to be the hostile takeover, dissuading the engage for BlackRock. Handshake does get a stun only momentarily. Well, it's an exposed inhibitor here in the mid lane. There's now going to be Siege. Even if the Baron buff still is on top of many of the heads here of Phoenix 5, they're being cautious on how they want to fight this, especially when hostile takeover is on cooldown.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Renata has one of the best turn supports, one of the best disengage supports in the game. I think she's so good into this Vi pick as well because she can have that bailout onto the Vi and it can give her carries time to turn as well. But I feel like without the hostile takeover or without the Cyclone, the team fighting power of Phoenix 5 just goes down so much. And I feel like this whole game, Phoenix 5's macro, especially in the later game, has just not been the greatest. I mean, they just kind of ran around in circles for a couple minutes, and then they also just gave the Hextech Soul because they were like kind of running around and didn't know what to do. But so I would like to see how BlackRock plays the map to kind of exploit the weaknesses that Phoenix 5 have been displaying this game so far.
We are at 48, almost 49 minutes into this game. Gold no longer matters. The difference here, negligible between the two teams. It's all about, as you said, having that Hextech Soul here on the side of BlackRock, and soon an Elder Dragon that will spawn in a minute's time, and then the Baron 2 minutes away. Either one of those can be the straw that breaks the camel's back for both teams. Just curious on how this control is going to be pushed back and forth, as right now we saw those Phoenix 5 gaining a little bit of control on the bottom quadrant, but a good push back by BlackRock to make sure they're maintaining some vision themselves.
Yeah, I mean, we can see Phoenix 5 has kind of gotten control of this area. It's pretty hard, in my opinion, for BlackRock to walk into them because they have so much stuff. They have a lot of picks, such as like the Chains of Corruption from the Varus, or NECC from the Renata or the Hui, right?
Right.
Or the Lee Sin kick, right? And I feel like it's just pretty hard for them to walk in. We can see control wards in the jungle for the side of Phoenix 5, and it is a little dark for the side of BlackRock right now, I think.
Yeah, but they are still playing aggressively.
Oh.
Look at Pockus. They're looking for the backline. Bazz taking a lot of the damage, and here's Decoy, but not able to tag him. Instead, turning the attention onto Maws. Get him to go golden. Get a kick back. There goes Decoy. Unstoppable Bazz. The lightning strike does not crash down for Maws, but instead it's the chase back, waiting for the poke that comes in with the Hextech Soul. But now the fact that they've already lost their flanker, Decoy, gone for a whole minute's time. Elder Dragon is up. This is going to be an Elder flip.
Yeah, but with Decoy down for the next 50 seconds, I think one team is in particular favored here. Both these teams have lacked...
Pockus.
Oh.
He's going to pop the quickness. They're looking for the backline, but Hyphe was not able to get onto dtro or onto Bazz as Bazz continues to kite back. 50% on the Elder. Re-engage onto Hyphe. Blast Cone, the Mog, clamping down onto Hyphe for the kill. 2 now dead on the side of BlackRock. There's got to be a YOLO steal here. It's down so low. That is going to be the chain of the corruption into the Maw, into the engage with a Cyclone, and it is raining hell down on BlackRock as it's a clean ace for Phoenix 5.
And the death timers are so long now. 1 minute on 4 members of BlackRock. The only Decoy will be up for this next play. And with Elder on the side of a Phoenix 5, I think this is just the end of the game.
I think so too. They can push down. They got the TPs. Here's going to be Maws. They're looking to open another lane here, this time in the bot lane. Redemption to heal him up as well. Decoy, you gotta be not just a hero, you gotta be an absolute legend here. Losing the spell shield, popping the world ender, Darken Blade not connecting. The turret's gone, flashing forward, tries to be that hero, but could not do it as Phoenix 5 will topple Rock Esports.